everyone, Saviroosje here, and today I'm going to recreate an old video of mine, which is called Beginner Draw 3 Different Anime Eyes Tutorial. And it is one of my first videos from 2013 and it is super cringy and just terrible. So I had this fun idea to recreate that video to see if I got any better. Well, let's start watching some bits of my old video, even though it's like super cringy. Anyways, enjoy! Hello, today I will show you a tutorial how to draw anime eyes, manga eyes, whatever you like to call it. I draw an oval in the middle of the eye. And that's the first anime eye I made for you guys. Whew, well, that was quite horrible, and especially my accent and just everything. And as you can see, I didn't really explain much. My line art is awful and I don't even explain how I colored those eyes. So yeah, well, what a great tutorial I made! So today I got 3 manga eyes in the same color scheme and the same shape. But this time I will try to explain how I drew and colored them and give general tips and tricks on how to achieve these manga eyes. The process for all 3 of them is pretty much the same, so I will do one in-depth explanation and show you how I did the other 2, just for the sake of recreating this old video. So yeah, here we go. Let's start with the first eye. So I start sketching the general shape of the eye and just very lightly with a very thin mechanical pencil on the paper. And notice I make very sketchy and loose strokes, which do not have to be perfect, and I just kind of build the general shape of the eye. This first eye, which I called the oval eye, I made it a little less over the top, but you can make it bigger if you want. After I'm happy with the sketch, I move on to the line art. I use a Staedtler fineliner for this, and it is a 0.5 tip, and for the details I use a slightly smaller one, which is a 0.3. And as you can see, I use the same movements as with sketching, but then a little less loose. But I still like to soften the lines. And when you watch my old video, you can see that I try to do it in all one chunky line. And since my hands aren't that steady, I like to build up the line work instead of trying to achieve that one line feel. I mean, I just can't do that, and it looks horrible in my old videos. So yeah, and I also try to add more weight to the lines. So the closer to the upper lash line and to the lower lash line, the thicker I make the strokes of her eye. This also brings more depth to the line art and just a more interesting line art. And when I'm finished with the line art, I grab an eraser and start to erase the out of it. So I have a clean base for the coloring. Note that I used to say that in the old video and people either loved it and laughed at it or thought it was offensive for some reason. I will just bleep it out here, but you can probably guess what I said. You can watch the old video anyway, so. But yeah. For the sake of the old video, I also used Copic markers for the coloring, and I will list the colors down below because I used quite a lot of colors. And I also think that I used only 3 Copics in the original video because I just didn't own more Copics. And for this first eye, I use 5 colors. And I erased the pencil very lightly in the eye, so I can still kind of see the general shapes I sketched out, so I know where to place the colors. And of course we start from light to dark, so I use my lightest Copic marker and fill in the shapes. I do not only use blue colors, but I also add a little bit of that mint green in there, just for more contrast and a more interesting coloring. You don't have to do that, but it's always it makes it a little bit better. You can also add like pink or another color, which really works well with blue. And yeah, I just start to build up the colors and go back and forth with the lighter and darker colors to blend them all together. Copics blend very easily. You just need to give it a little bit more time. When I look at my old video, I kind of blended them, but it's not pretty. I mean, it needed more time and more attention. And I add a little details here and there with the Copic markers, and I also use a white Posca marker to add in the highlights and the shine in the eyes, and that, my fellow subscribers, is how I color in this eye. So next up, I will draw the eye I called Square. And notice that little mistake in the original video. I was so confused I didn't know how to write square in English, I think. And I didn't even bother to try it again and grab a new piece of paper and do it all over again. Because that's what I would do now. If I messed up the last eye, I would do them all over. And yeah, but I didn't in 2013. But anyways, this is all basically the same as before. And I just tried to do the coloring a little bit different, and it is all about blending the colors and use a little bit variety of colors, and not only green for green eyes and not only red for red eyes. Go for a color next to that color in the color wheel just to make it a little bit more interesting and give it more contrast. And that is why I added a little bit of yellow and a little bit of blue in the green eye. It just makes it really, really pretty. And for some reason with green eyes, when you add yellow and blue, it's really, really beautiful. Anyways, if you're wondering why I'm even having this super old video still online on YouTube, well, it got quite a lot of views, and don't ask me how, I have no idea why. It's horrible. But to be honest, I don't really care if I look and sound like someone who has no idea what she is doing. I think it's kind of funny, and I can reflect on that, and I don't really care if people think or laugh about it. I mean, that's just something I did in 2013. It's not who I am right now, so I don't care. If you laugh at it, it's fine. I laugh at it too, so yeah, it's just funny to hear my English accent and just my very bad attempts at drawing manga eyes. I mean, just the line art, oh my god, I just can't. Look at it, oof. And it is also nice to see that I did grow with coloring and shading and also my line work. I mean, that has always been my weakest point, to be honest. So yeah, I can confidently say that I got a lot better with drawing manga eyes. I hope you can agree too. And here we are at the more roundish eye, and even that has a weird typo in it. I think this is the worst one I did. The lashes are really uneven, and there are just too many of them going in all sorts of places and wrong directions. So I really want to do better this time. I think drawing lashes is very tricky. You press a bit too hard and it doesn't look good anymore. You draw them the wrong direction and it ruins your whole eye. But that is also the reason why I do it in a more sketchy approach instead of trying to nail those lashes in one single stroke. And that is just my tip of the day. Just try to draw more sketchy, more loose, and don't press too hard on the paper. And so for the coloring, I played around with red colors and I added a little bit of warm pink, reddish color and also a little bit of orange to give it some more interesting coloring. And I also tried to make some other details into this eye so that all three of them have something special. And I also think my videos got a little upgrade, don't you think? I think I even used a simple Samsung camera for the old video. I didn't have a fancy camera or a microphone or lighting or basically anything, so that's better now. But I knew that I had fun and that I was proud on that old video, so I think it's fine. I keep it online, it's funny. Anyways, these are the 3 manga eyes. But then, 7 years later, what do you think? Do you prefer the old ones or the new ones? I think I know the answer, but you never know, you might like the older ones because they're more manga-ish, I don't know. I just want to know what you think, let me know in the comments. I want to know if you like this idea, and I also kind of hope you cringed at my old video like I did. Feel that cringe, please. But yeah, I had a blast recreating this old video of mine, and I also hope I could teach you something new in this video, or maybe you had a laugh at how bad my old video was. But yeah, that's it, and I really hope you liked it, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye!